Hi everyone, welcome. Shelter Monkey here. Hope you are doing awesome. Today I wanted to give you my long-term impressions of the Real Steel Knives Archangel. I've been carrying this knife for about 6 months now, and if you look closely at the G10, you will see that it is wearing as G10 does if you carry a knife. I have disassembled it, but it was about 6 months ago, and if my memory serves me correctly, it has roller thrust bearings instead of the usual ball bearings. I don't think that's really an important difference, but it's just one thing to note. The action did improve after I disassembled it and cleaned it. Overall, the quality is good, except the blade was ground rather sloppily. I'll insert a photo into the video so you can see what I'm talking about. So I was not happy at all when I received it as to how the grind looked, but I didn't want to return it to Knife Center, so I contacted Real Steel's customer service, which turned out to be an adventure. I wanted them to send me a new blade so I could just swap in a new blade, but they wouldn't do that, probably because they don't have any spare parts, which seems to be the case with a lot of these Chinese manufacturers. Finally, they said I could send the knife to Indiana Knives, which is one of their distributors here in the US for sharpening. Indiana Knives was great, but overall it was a draining experience to deal with Real Steel's customer service. The action is decent, but it's not super snappy, and it is possible for the blade to not fully deploy. For a knife like this, in this category, I'm actually a big fan of assisted opening, such as Kershaw's Speed Safe assisted opening. One big issue for me in the environment in which I live is that the blade is constructed of D2, which is not stainless. Let me show you the reality of a D2 blade in a humid environment, and brace yourselves. So what you're looking at here is pocket lint. Ever since I received the knife, I've kept the blade coated in fluid film, which is a corrosion inhibitor. So I know this is ugly, but it is an effective corrosion inhibitor. I do plan on trying some other corrosion inhibitors, such as EDCI and possibly Renaissance wax, because I think those will attract less pocket lint. So let me clean off the blade for you so you won't be grossed out too much. Okay, it cleaned up nicely and there's no new spots of corrosion. One of the times before when I cleaned off the fluid film, there was actually a spot of corrosion, but I was able to remove most of it by polishing it out with buffing compound. So let's talk about ergonomics. This is definitely an odd-looking puppy. The ergonomics are unusual with this point right where your thumb is positioned. So I think this is pretty strange. The point is not particularly sharp. It's rounded off pretty well. So it's not painful or anything. And you do learn to adjust by moving your hand forward or backwards to position your thumb in one of these depressions here. I guess one good point about this point is that it makes you very aware of how you're holding the knife. Like if you're holding the knife, you definitely know how you're holding it. You're not holding it upside down or anything. So it's a very distinctive feel. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's talk about carryability. This knife carries extremely well. It's very compact for the blade length. When closed, the blade is mostly hidden within the handle, and the handle scales are relatively thin. I forget the exact measurement, but it's under ½ an inch. The pocket clip works very well. It is a wire pocket clip, which is my favorite style of clip. It's constructed of stainless steel wire, and it is deep carry, and it's reversible from left to right side. And I have it on the left side for left side carry. It is, however, tip up only, and I know the prevailing opinion is that tip up is better, but I believe that tip down is better, and let me explain why. The reason is that with a deep carry pocket clip like this, when you extract the knife from your pocket, you are left holding the very rear of the knife. And in order to get the knife fully in your hand, you need to make a translational movement forward on the knife. And during that movement from back here to up here, you're actually very susceptible to dropping the knife. Whereas if the clip was tipped down with it on the pivot, when you extracted the knife from your pocket, you would merely have to do a rotational move with the knife to get it fully in your hand. So that's why I believe that tip down is actually superior. So let me quickly go over some basic specs, and then I'll bring in some other similar sized knives for comparison. So we have a blade length from the very tip of the blade to the forwardmost portion of the handle scale of 3.9 inches or 99 millimeters. And we have a weight of 4.6 ounces or 131 grams. And all those measurements were performed by me. So let me bring in some comparison knives. First, we have the CRKT Carnifex. This one is available for approximately $30 right now, so quite cheap. The blade is a bit longer, but the knife is quite a bit heavier, being in the 6-ounce range because the handle is constructed of stainless steel. And here we have the Zero Tolerance 0452 carbon fiber, and the blade length on this guy is a little bit longer, and it's also lighter too, but it's quite a bit more expensive at over about $180 right now. So I hope this has been informative. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. And also, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and click the bell and do all that. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.